week after the Great Zuurberg Trek 3-day mountain bike race, it was the turn of the e-bikers to take on the rocks, hills and trails of the Zuurberg Mountains in the Rubicon GZTE Trek e-bike adventure. The popularity and growth of e-bike riding in mountain biking was evident in the number of entries for this, the second year of the e-bike only weekend. There were double the number of entries from a year ago. It's clear this is a market that is only going to expand. And hats off to Great Zuurberg Trek owners Rob and Trevor Hayter for taking the gap and providing an exclusive e-bike event. With no times being recorded, it wasn't a race. This is due to the fact that there are so many options available in the e-bike segment, with different motors and battery sizes making it an uneven playing field, so to speak. Also, it's time to chill on an e-bike. E-bikes provide an opportunity for those new to mountain biking to find their feet in a less intimidating environment than a fully fledged race. Partners who in previous years would have stayed at home were now on the bike, sharing in the wonderful opportunity of riding the amazing trails in and out of the mountains of the Zuurberg. And it's also a leveler for couples who are unevenly matched on regular bikes.
The reason I got the e-bike is so that I could ride with him. So before, when I was on my own bike, he would sit there waiting for me and his heart rate would be average under 100. So it just keeps up with the boys.
A fun, stress-free way to enjoy riding in an event with like-minded people is what the Rubicon GZTE Trek e-bike mountain bike adventure is all about. Perhaps, though, there is a stress factor. Good battery management is important. With up to 5 different settings on some bikes, riders need to be careful not to use turbo mode too much. They need to conserve enough battery to ensure they're able to reach the finish without running out of battery. The bikes weigh anything from 16 to 26 kilograms, and you don't want to have to pedal or push the bike home. After a few days of rain during the week, the Eastern Cape provided perfect weather for day one, which took them to the north along the historic Old Zuurberg Pass. With distances ranging from 45 to 60 kilometers over the weekend, riders were able to complete the route well in time to enjoy all that Zuurberg has to offer. And find out about the latest shoe tech from the guys at Leet, a proudly South African brand supporting the event. The winter chill wasn't a factor, as the constantly burning fire inside the old hotel created a warm and cozy vibe to sit and chat by. A fun and relaxed briefing was followed by a superb buffet dinner, all part of the deal at the Great Zuurberg e-bike adventure. Day 2 dawned clear and sunny, perfect for riding e-bikes.
I've done so many adventures in life, and specifically the past 12 years I've done cycling, and I just love it. And I think because I had my 2 knee replacements as well, I can't walk and hike and run any longer. Then I was convinced to buy an e-bike, and my life has changed. I'm back again. I'm with the cycle with the A group, and I'm doing all kinds of adventures all over the country again. I've booked a place with Richard Branson on Virgin Galactic to go to space. That'll be early next year, and I've got an intensive training program which is building up, and part of it is getting fit. And my first fitness and the easiest way for me and the most enjoyable way is by cycling, using my e-bike.
Yes, an e-bike gives you a new lease on life when you need it most. The GZTE continued with a second stage that was to take the riders in the other direction, although they still had to go out north on the Zuurberg Pass. Instead of dropping to the right as they did on day 1, they went left of the pass and headed into the infamous Seven Dwarfs Drop, a thrilling single-track trail that plunges off the ridge and down to the bottom of the valley. Along the way, the views of the mountains are truly amazing. Although the trail does get narrow at times, and looking at the views would be detrimental to your health. Having negotiated the crossing of the Bean River, the riders dealt comfortably with Monty's climb, before doing the same on the potentially hazardous fast descent. Who said e-bikes can't go through water? E-bikers are ever so helpful when the legs and batteries go flat. There was a loop through the contrasting landscapes of the beautiful Eastern Cape, succulent bush riding, and the vast, fertile Sundays River Valley, home to some of the biggest citrus orchards in the country, was next. The tough 10-kilometer climb back up the pass from the southern side is a cruise on these bikes. And after a couple of hours of exploring the wonderful trails, they were back at the Zuurberg Village Inn. Well in time for a drink, lunch, a massage, and possibly an afternoon doze. While the bikes were restored to sparkling condition by the Squirt Bike Wash crew. The advent of e-bikes and the rather irritating curse of load shedding has focused attention on sustainable ways of providing consistent power. And event sponsors Rubicon have just the answer.
So we're into e-mobility, and we've started deploying electric vehicle charging infrastructure across South Africa, which includes e-bikes. So there are plans ahead and afoot to put in these charging stations around the country. And besides that, any form of e-mobility to us, especially the lifestyle segment of the market, is becoming important. So fully off-grid, it's powered by a Tesla Powerwall. Can charge up to 30 bikes. So whether or not we've got power, the battery will charge those bikes, and it's also then the sunlight is then charging the battery in turn. So it's fully replenished by sun, fully off-grid, and perfect for this type of event.
After another wonderfully comfortable night in the chalets and luxury tents at the Zuurberg Mountain Village, it was time for the final day's ride. And they were in for something very special. Going south initially, they dropped into a seriously fun section of single track that took them all the way down the mountainside, first on the right and then on the left-hand side of the pass. Again, the raw, remote beauty of the Zuurberg Mountains was breathtaking.
So after months of preparation and hard work, it's such a pleasure to see these riders arrive at an event and enjoy it. With this being a ride and not a race, we can see the pressures off the riders, and they just get to have fun out there on the trails. Nobody's chasing anyone. They stop and enjoy the scenery. They get to enjoy the water points, and it's just such a pleasure to see riders enjoy these trails out here.
While it was not a race, there was no reason not to go hard when the trail demanded it. All part of the F words. Fun is fast and fast is fun. 2/3 of the day's ride was on single track as they charged through the thick bush. What a thrill, particularly on an e-bike. The spine of the Zuurberg events is the pass, at the base of which are the fat track supported Haterdale trails, which they got to explore to the maximum. The beauty of e-biking is that you don't get too tired, so you can get the very best out of yourself and the bike whilst enjoying the trails all the way. Then it was another quick blast up the pass, and they were soon back at the event base at the Zuurberg Mountain Inn. And the consensus from those in the know was that the Rubicon GZTE bike adventure was an absolute blast and here to stay.
No, the track was great. There's those single tracks, the Seven Dwarfs, what a pleasure. And the start today also phenomenal. And the thing I like about the event is it's not a race, which makes it more enjoyable for everybody.